Just keep on waiting. Okay, hi everyone. Welcome to the AMA session for the DTTL HackFest 5.0 in collaboration with AWS and powered by HackFest. It's so it's always lovely to have all of you here watching us live, and I truly believe many are on the way to join us here on this call. So we've set up this overall, agenda of this meeting or maybe this session is to answer all of your questions while you are into the idea submission phase. You've registered, or maybe if you're new to this overall hackathon, so you can explore the ends on which this hackathon has been designed and what is the set expectations out of it. So yeah, so to get started with, so what are we going to discuss? We're just going to discuss about the timelines of events happening in HackFest 5.0, who can participate, what is the participation criteria, and will more focus of this overall session would be around answering questions from the participants who have already registered for this. And if you still have any questions, if you're new to this platform, you can feel free to put it in the comments, and we'll pick it up from there. So yeah, as said rightly, we are here for the HackFest 5.0, wherein it is powered by HackFest in collaboration with AWS, and this has been presented by to you by DTDL altogether. That's the participation criteria for you. We are looking forward for professionals, startups, freelance developers across. And if you can form a team from 2 to 5 members, find your colleagues, find your friends who can contribute towards the problem statements. There are various problem statements that are already listed on the website. Do check it out. You can simply go to hackfestskill.com and find out HackFest 5.0, wherein you can still make your registration count. We're open till 24th, wherein you can register and form your teams, brainstorm the ideas that you have against those challenges that are listed, and you can be part of the winning teams amongst who can grab the prize for the hackathon. So yeah, today we will have with us our in-house, from DTTL, Vinny Singh and Shashidhar Singhal. Hi Vinny, hi Shashi. You guys are on mute in case.
Yes.
All right. Hi, thank you so much for joining us today here. So today's session is more focused on the AMA and to answer the questions that we are getting over emails, or maybe people are asking us to while they are framing their or brainstorming their ideas, right? So that's the major focus. So why don't you guys tell us a little bit about your vision and your why HackFest 5.0? What is this difference? So that people who have joined us new or maybe watching us newly for the first time can quickly get a grasp about it, and we can therefore move forward for the flow.
Sure, absolutely. Thank you, Shakti, for setting up that context as well. Hi, everyone, and thank you for joining us on a Friday. A great weekend ahead. I think the right time for you guys to start thinking about the HackFest as well. What are we doing this time? So, Deutsche Telekom Digital Labs has been around for the past 4 years, sorry, to be exact, and we have been creating a hackathon so far internally. So what we've done is that as we have been growing, so have our business problems, and every time for every new business problem, we look for solutions not just from the business leaders and the product leaders, but also from every individual who's a part of our team. So for the past 4 years, we had been doing that internally. And this year, we decided to open up this platform to everybody. So, not only our employees, our current employees, but also anybody who's interested. So, that let that be professionals, graduates, small startups of their own. If they can solve for our problems, we welcome ideas. So, this time, our plan is very simple: give real life problems that we're actually facing, give you even a very clear context of where exactly we stand at it with that, and look for solutions from you. And yep, that's it about the hackathon, Shakti.
Great, thank you so much for adding that up. Shashi, you want to add up something to that?
Cool. Thank you so much, first of all, guys. It's amazing to meet you guys again. And I think Shakti and Vinny has already shared why we are here and why 5.0. Just want to add one thing to it. I think after the dot-com world in 1919, the tech has been flying like anything. And the way it has transformed the way we see our day-to-day customer problem has been phenomenal. So that's it. I think I'm excited now this time to see people from outside also getting together, doing a lot of brainstorming sessions, how we can solve these customer problems, right? So excited to meet you all with the new set of mindset.
Great. Thank you so much for those quick briefs and your setting the right expectations. So we'll talk about during the whole flow of the agenda or the session while we are here. We'll talk about and try to answer some of the questions that grabbed our interest and we would want to know from your perspective. Uh, so I have a couple of questions with me already sent by our teams who have been participating. So I'll iterate that for you, and you guys can help me answer that so that we can all, hear out from your perspective, what's your thought behind it. So one of the questions, this is, I truly believe this is from participants who have not seen our previous videos, but they've asked a very simple question. This is a combination of two, three questions, I believe. So they've asked, can you provide an overview of the problem statements or challenges participants need to tackle during the hackathon? And also, do we need to build an end-to-end solution as mentioned in the sample solutioning of the problem statements? So we've got the problem statement listed on the website, right? And there are sample solutions that are there. So people want to understand, is the right expectation from them is to build end-to-end solution? Like for an example, if we are going ahead with the first problem statement, like let me just share my screen once.
Sure.
Okay, I think you can see it. So that's the
Yeah.
hack website for you, and those are the problem statement listed. So for the optimizing peak solution, if we want to view more, there is a sample scenario. There are different set of expectations from you. So why don't Shashi, Vinny, and if one of you throw us more a little depth inside here? What is the right expectation for people to solve? Is it just around what is mentioned outside, or maybe go with the flow as the sample scenario says?
Okay, let me just take a stab at what the expectation is, and then I think Shashi is absolutely the right person to talk more from a tech angle to it. The problem statements that you see in front of you, this is for everybody who's right now either registered, not registered. Um, we have literally stated the real life, real time problem as we were just discussing before. Optimizing peak usage or monetizing data, these are real time problems that we are seeing in our company. Now, the point of looking for solutions is the fact that we want to give you an open canvas. The intent of giving you a sample scenario was to get you more attuned or get you more familiar with what the environment looks like. So what does peak usage means? Because we are well aware that not everybody will be from either a telco background or would understand the terminologies that we may have used, or also might understand the problem that we are facing. To set another part of the context right, we are working for our European customers. Our products are not easily visible to you guys, or you cannot really feel or touch or experience them. So our intent is to give you complete understanding of what kind of situation we are under, right? So if you look at the detailed problem and if you've had the time to read through it, you will understand that we have tried to give you a very clear situation, that this is what we are facing right now. What kind of solution are we looking for? It's a open canvas for you, and that's the whole idea of this hackathon. It's about creating innovative ideas. You would have read all the content on our website, on the communication as well, that we're looking at out of the box ideas. The usual way of how would you optimize peak usage, we are well aware of it. We're all sitting here working for the same products, so we know what can be done. That hasn't been thought through is what we're looking for. So that's to give you just a context. Now, from a tech or solution angle, I will let Shashi answer that for you, please.
Yeah, I think you're right, Vinny, and I could resonate to that. These problems has been very well thought through based on what we have been facing in our day-to-day life when we roll out our products to our customers. And the good thing is, these most of these problems, guys, are not very specific or limited to Delco. These are the problems which were identified, which is let's say today the different and the various industries product team is also facing, right? For instance, the monetization of data or optimizing the scale usage at the scale, right? These are the problems which even Hotstar, Netflix, these platforms are also or be it content discovery, these are the problems which everybody is facing. As Vinny mentioned, we have given the scenario which we have seen in our ecosystem, so that at least you get a guided path to solve through it. And some of the other way, everybody in the industry has solved this problem. But what we are looking for is maybe something new coming out, which is much more efficient and modular and pluggable into any ecosystem. It should not be limited to our domain, right? That's how the scenario is related to. On the expectation on the completion part, I think yes, the topmost gold expectation is that if you can give a system which is end to end ready, which can be used as is, let's say in a week or a couple of weeks time, we can take it to production. That is like the gold expectation. But at the same time, the second is that if the system is in such a shape and you are able to prototype it in a way that if being worked upon further, this is something which can be made live maybe in a couple of months with our ecosystem, right? So that's still the meet the expectation with a good margin. And then obviously the last one, the idea is very good, but some work is done, very prototype. But if we put right mindset people into that idea with some more let's say bandwidth into it, then this idea is something which can flourish even further. So these are the three stages I see from the expectation perspective. So it's not a hard limit that it should work end to end for every outcome.
I think that was very well defined, Shashi. And just to add to what Shashi said, even our criteria for judging the ideas that you would be submitting would exactly be to what Shashi spoke about. We're looking at the plausibility of the idea. We're looking at how well can that be executed further. How well has the idea been thought through? So it's not necessary for you to have the complete idea ready when you're submitting it, as long as your thought process is in the right place. And we have enough stages across the hackathon to give you the time to develop it further with the right resources as well.
Sure. Thank you so much for adding that up, Vinny, Shashi, answering that question. My follow-up would be, I've got a similar question in the chat coming up. So maybe it's the same person. So as the event is also in collaboration with AWS,
Right.
what is the what is the expectation for a participant to is it the right expectation for a participant to push their prototype onto AWS, or will they get some sort of credits about it, or can they deploy on any other cloud services, or is it very mandatory to do it on AWS? Can you throw some light on that?
Absolutely. That's a valid question and has been asked internally as well. Our collaboration with AWS, yes, it would be great if you can publish it on AWS, but no, we're not bound by AWS at all in terms of where do you want to push your solution. That's one. Second, how would we be dispersing the credits if any needed? That's answer is two parts. First is, I'm sure you guys are all experienced enough to would have created an account on AWS yourself. There are certain free credits that you get. If those credits are not enough, while you move on to the prototyping phase, yes, we would be helping you with further credits. So we will not be expecting you to pay for any uh, part of pushing the solution onto AWS. We would support you in it, but as we are all well aware, we right now in the ideation phase of it, so you don't need to worry about it. When we get to that phase, we assure you that there would be some support that would be provided to you to make sure that you're able to push it on the right platform, specifically for AWS.
So just to reiterate, we are not bounded to AWS as a deployment of the prototype. We can use any other cloud service as well. But if you do so, we'll have you additional maybe golden points.
We will see.
Yes. So my next question is on a technology aspect. Maybe Shashi can help us understand. It's moreover, I had a chunk of questions about different problem statements and the right technology or tools to be used. So I just framed it into one. So what technology or frameworks will be involved in addressing each of these problem statements? Do you have some certain advice to use or something, or maybe are we restricted to some sort of technology? Can you just throw some light on each of the problems?
I think the answer to this question is very abstract and very simple, wherein we say that we are not bounding ourselves to any tech per se. When I say any tech per se, uh, let's start with programming language: Java, Kotlin, Python. No, as long as to solve the solution, you can pick any which suits your problem statement, the problem or the platform you're building. In terms of queues, also RabbitMQ, Kafka, whatever suits you well. In terms of deployment model, also you want to go with Kubernetes or EC2 host machine. So I think it's an open ground. There is no foundation as such, as long as that tech surface the problem statement and the solution you are building. So that's the high level view, I would say. And if somebody is looking for some suggestion on certain problem statement, then maybe it goes by the solution you are trying to draft, because your tech sometimes changes based on what kind of complexity you're trying to solve. So if somebody can highlight me who asked this, that I'm trying to build this, then maybe I can throw some suggestion. Otherwise, you're open for all. There's no restriction.
Those who have certain same lines of questions, maybe you can push some questions that very specifically in the chat, so that Sashi, Vinny, and I can pick it up from there and we can get that answered. But thank you so much for putting those up there, Sashi. My next question is again somewhat related to the solving of the problem. So, are there any specific APIs or data sets that participants will have access to? If so, can you elaborate on them? What are those?
Okay, so basically we can let you know some labeled data sets, the kind of data set we have in our ecosystem, like the actual production data set. Uh, but accessibility of the actual data set, might not be possible because of the European rights. But what you can do is you can generate synthetic data around those labeled information, and then use it for your solution which you're trying to build. Now, when I say what I mean by labeled data set is, for instance, we have 5 products which we try to build in our ecosystem today. One is our self-care app, which is very similar to My Airtel app in India. So you can imagine the kind of data we could generate from those apps, like uh, the tariff change information user do on the app, the add-on purchases, data add-on purchases the customer do on the app, right? The devices they purchase on the app. So you can formulate the information around this and generate the synthetic data around this by yourself to utilize. Then we also have TV platform, which is very much similar to a Netflix or Amazon Prime, wherein we stream content. So now you can imagine that we could have uh, the movie shown, the channel shown to a customer, the kind of let's say series and content he's watching every day. And using this information, you can find ample amount of data set on the internet which you can use uh, to generate your sample data. Similarly, we have a product called call center application for our agents, wherein our customers for any problem calls, and then agents get a web application wherein they can see what is the contract detail about a customer we have. For instance, is the customer holding a mobile service with us, or is he have a fixed line service with us, right? Does he hold a TV service with us? And based on that, the call center person then try to find the information about that customer in a web platform, and then try to answer the customer that, okay, you are not able to see the TV maybe because your data pass has expired, so you have to recharge it in order to start streaming the data again. So we get these kind of queries, and then from that platform we generate this kind of data about the customers. So you can use this information to again generate sample data for your use case. Then similarly, we have an e-commerce platform similar to Amazon, wherein we sell devices in Europe, like a new iPhone is launched or a Samsung device is launched. It's a marketplace for our devices and tariffs in the telco. So you can think of it like generating a sample data of an e-commerce website, which then you can use to again for any machine learning use case. Then the last product which we have is a one broadband cockpit, which is like the routers which we have at home. We build a product via which you can control your access and the things on your routers. For instance, I can say that I don't want to enable internet for my children at home after 9 p.m. Let's say. So I can do those parental controls via my app, and those app directly connects with my routers. You can change your password. You can do lot many things. You can block some IPs at your home via that, right? So this is the kind of data which we have available in that product. So if you see, the self-care, the call center application, the e-commerce website, the content streaming platform, and the broadband cockpit, these are the different kind of products which we have. You can consider generating the sample data in any of these and then utilize this for your data set. Does that help to answer anybody who was trying to ask around this? Shakshi, maybe you can confirm.
Yeah, maybe if you're the one who asked this question, please feel free to make a comment here so that we can pick it up from there and understand, are we setting the right expectations or not, right? We've got a couple of questions in the chat as well. We can pick it up at the end.
Yeah.
So my next question would be, this is around again the data sets that can headers of the data sets can be shared, and when can we access that in order to understand and set the right idea formulations.
Okay. So there are two parts when we say the headers of the information. One is uh, sharing the kind of data which we have in our telco industry, which is like these 5 domains I spoke about. The second is the exact metadata of the information which we collect, which is still a schema. And third is the actual data. So actual data for sure we cannot share. Even for the metadata, this is under European rights that we cannot even share the kind of information we collect from our customers, like first name, last name, email, or whatever. And these are schema fields, so we are not allowed from the security perspective to share that information. But the first thing which I mentioned, this is the what we can share, and then based on that, you can. I think it's a lot of data you can get it from the internet around these different domains like care, call center, TV, and marketplace, sales marketplace.
And just to add to that, and for all the participants who might need access to these headers, we will be publishing this by Sunday on the platform. So you can go and access it there to download it and extrapolate your own data and build the model you need to on that. And in terms of if there are any specific resources that we can share with you, where you can access this kind of data, we will share that as well with you.
Great,
I think there
awesome.
was
Yeah.
there was one interesting question which is easy to answer. I'll pick it quickly maybe. Uh, can we use already trained MLAI model, or should we have to train our own? So I think we can use the existing pre-trained model which is available and use it to build a use case. That's completely fine.
Right. Okay. Now that we have started picking up questions on the chat, let's just answer a few from there, and to the questions I've got from the plot.
So we have coder Shashant asking if he's a freelance developer and solo. Can I participate? How do I contact with other solo developers? Shakti, this one's for you.
Yes. So, Shashant, if you are new to this platform, go and register yourself first. So every day we are sending out communications to join our discussion forums. You can also access discussion forums from your dashboard. Once you register, you land onto your personalized dashboard. You'll find the right communication discussion link. Head over there. We've got 35,000 plus developers across on Discord, wherein you can check out with other developers having conversations, and therefore you can find the right fit for your team. You can discuss your ideas. What are you thinking? What are the other person's thoughts? Do a synergy there, and maybe you'll find the right teammate of yours. But for that, you need to register yourself first, and therefore go ahead, explore on the Discord group. Yeah.
Correct. Resources we can get for prototype development, like dataset, AWS vouchers. Ankin, I think we have kind of covered on both the aspects. So as Shashi mentioned very clearly, we will give you guys, it will be updated on the website. Rather, Shakti would be the only person to tell you where exactly you access it. But we would give you what the headings of the dataset can look like, and also a couple of resources where you can go and access such data sets and extrapolate it further. AWS vouchers, you will not be needing it right now, considering we are looking at the ideation stage. The selected ideas, once you guys go into prototyping and we see it necessary, we see it becoming a hurdle, we will be giving you the AWS vouchers. So you don't need to worry about it, about the AWS vouchers, or how exactly would you be pushing your solution on the cloud. Who owns the IP of you, like what we design and build? The IP of only the selected prototypes would be something that we would be taking the right of, and that is for the selected top 3 or top 5 ideas. And that would be a written legal agreement that would be signed before you enter the final stage of the hackathon. So any idea prior to that, we're not taking any responsibility, nor are we going to be taking your idea. For MLAI problem statement, we've already answered. Are there any guidelines on how we can estimate the cost for the solution that we come up with?
I think I'll
Cost? Yes, please.
take this up, Vinny. So on the cost part, I would say that you should not worry or limit yourself from the perspective of innovation right now.
Yeah.
Reason being, the cost goes as we scale or the kind of data we, let's say, nurture. But at the same time, just keep an eye on, we should not be trying to build LLM which needs thousands and thousands of dollars. just that view while you innovate. Otherwise, just don't think much about the cost, rather being thinking towards the idea, I would say.
Absolutely great. How many submissions we got till now? And then I think we are more curious to see your idea than the submissions, so we
Yes.
look forward to that. Can I know the platform name? I'm not sure, Devika, which platform are you referring to? If you're talking about the resources, we are yet to share that. It'll be visible. I think Shakti will be sharing it with all the participants once it is updated from our end as well. All right.
So, okay.
Are there any other questions, Shakti, beyond the ones in the comments that might need an answer to?
No, I've just got a couple of one, two more,
Sure.
just to wrap it up here. So, someone has asked about what level of support can participants expect from mentors of the hackathon in terms of technical guidance and troubleshooting during their prototyping stage.
Great question again. You won't have a directly tagged mentor, but you would have all the possible support from our end. So that would be the technology support. That would be, as you rightly said, any troubleshooting support, ideation, formation support. So if we think the idea is viable, we would be supporting you in building it further as well. So you can expect multiple calls that we will set up, be able to help you build the idea towards the final stage of the hackathon.
Great. So another question, I see the same sort of question in the chat also. Are there any constraint or limitations participants should be aware of while they're developing? One was, of course, you mentioned the LLM costs. It should not go that beyond that certain range. But are there any other restrictions in terms of formulating solutions or problems?
I think
Honestly, I
one.
don't think. Go
Sorry,
ahead, sorry, Shashi.
before any one of you starts, this next question
Yes.
also aligns on the same line, so I'll just add it up there. Uh, so, are there also any factors in terms of security or data privacy that they need to be aware of? Yeah. So, you can maybe
Shashi.
answer both questions together. Yes.
So that's what I was coming up to. So one thing I would recommend is, and again, it's not a hardbound thing, but still I would recommend this. When you build any solution, just bake in the PI information which you might need to access to build your solution. For instance, your solution should not be tightly coupled, saying that only if I have access to the first name, last name, and location of the user, then only my solution will work, right? So these kind of restrictions you should not bring in while building a solution. If you need these kind of information, then there should be some kind of a uh, let's say secure mechanism in your solution built in already. Maybe you will pseudonymize the data or do some other data before getting into your solution and then giving it back to the customer, right? So these kind of things should be thought through uh, before you start bridging your solution. For instance, you should not say that if you give me the access to the all personal information of the customer, I can use OpenAI on the public and do some nice stuff, right? Because that does not make sense. It will not go live because we'll have a lot many restriction with these public LLMs. So these kind of things should be baked in into your brainstorming session before you complete your idea.
Great. Thanks for addressing that. I have a question. Maybe Vinny has answered that initially, but maybe if we can throw a specific spotlight on it, is what would be the evaluation criteria for shortlisting from idea to prototype and prototype to the finale stage? And are there, can you help with the percentage split onto each one of them? So if you can throw some
Yeah,
light on that, it would be great. Yeah.
yeah, I was actually going to answer that as well. Thank you for bringing that up. So there are going to be four parameters. The one good thing about it is that we've kept them all equal to 25%. So that gives you a total of 100%. For the first stage, the four parameters that we're looking at is problem validation and impact. So again, understanding if the solution that you're creating is actually genuinely addressing the problem. What is the potential impact that you're creating with this solution? Second is the viability and scalability. As I said, we're looking at scalable solutions. I think Shashi mentioned that multiple times already. That Are they realistically implementable and scalable? Third is the creativity and innovation. And again, to Shashi's credit, he also spoke about that, that while resources are something that you should be very well careful about, not very well careful, but still, we're looking at out of the box solutions. So, how different is the solution from the current solutions that are already existing? And the last is the clarity with which you've presented. So, your presentation clarity, the presentation that has been shared with you, how well have you ideated and put your thoughts across? So, all are 25%. And to make it easy for everybody to understand as well, we would be sharing this over the website as well, so you guys can look. This is for your first stage. Now, to talk to you about the second stage, which is going to be your final hackathon. As you guys know, this is going to be an in-person hackathon. Here, we will be focusing more on the overall implementation and experience bit. So again, it's a this one is 40-30-20-10. So technical implementation, so the functionality and the technical soundness of this whole idea, a lot focus on that because it is eventually a tech hackathon. Second is the impact and value. We are keeping a 30% stake on that. So how much impact and value is this final solution bringing out to the business? Third is the user experience because this is going to be an in-person hackathon. So we will be able to actually experience whatever solutions you guys are giving us. 20% on that, and last 10% on your presentation and communication, because eventually that's really important on how you are presenting this idea to the final set of judges. The judges for the final hackathon are going to be industry experts, so we want to keep it a very fair game here. So we would have people who are from the industry, stalwarts of the industry, come and judge the final ideas.
Absolutely, that makes a lot of sense for us and gives a lot of clarity on the evaluation so that people can, at least stick to what they're building and what are the percentage divide. Thank you so much for helping us there. So there's a quick question: how many teams will get selected in the each round? Rajiv, just means I would say you focus more on building out your innovation idea to get into the next stage. You might, not need a lot of people there, but you're looking forward to your solution first.
And just to add to what Shakti said, Rajiv, what we want to do is give everybody a fair chance. The reason why we're not giving a number and being a little iffy about it is that if there are a lot of great ideas, we don't want to stick to a certain number of 15, 20, 35, and then not be able to give everybody a chance. We're keeping it very, very open ended so that the maximum great ideas see the day of light and we're able to actually support them in building it. This is the first time we are opening it up to an external audience also. So we want to see what kind of ideas do we get from external participants, and hence we have not put a cap on the number of ideas that we would be selecting. We want to see what the best ideas are, look at the shortlisting, and then um, finalize the ideas. It's not as you would have experienced it otherwise. It's not just a technical round which has a certain cutoff and all the ideas are, oh sorry, all the people are taken to the next round. These are very, very idea and people centric. So we want to make sure we are doing justice to that. And I think we missed Karthik's message here. If shortlisted, do we get a chance to work with BT or AWS? So Karthik, we don't own any part of working with AWS or not. We, however, do hope to see if there are great ideas. Why not? We would love to actually have a conversation further with any of the participants and see if there is a possibility to work together as well. Of course.
Great, thank you so much. That adds up value to the conversation. But thank you so much. That's about the questions. But let me pull up my screen and show the participants. That's what we are aiming for. So we are here to, any which ways we are building out ideas, we're building prototypes, but end result, everyone is grounded. Even if nowadays we are going live with IPA, right? They've got prizes everywhere. There are winners. So of course this is a competition. Of course we've got prizes for winners. We've got prizes for runner-ups all across. So on my screen, if you can see, there's a huge prize pool of 12 lakh rupees that you can get out of this whole hackathon initiative. So make sure you submit your idea, your prototype very precisely and make it to the finale. Anything you guys want to add up, Vinny, Shashi, here?
Just as a closing remark, firstly, thank you, Shakti, and everybody who's joined us here for the session. In terms of even the cash prize, you might be in for a surprise. So, I mean, focus on the ideas. Trust me, there are great rewards waiting for you, waiting for the best ideas there. So, something is up on our end as well. So, please participate, and we encourage you to come up with ideas. If you need help in developing ideas further, if there are the problem statements are a little too abstract for you, you need some help and support. Please don't think that if this is in the first go, you're not able to understand the problem statement, you have to let go of it. Shakti, the whole Hack to Skill team, the whole DTDL team is there to support you. So just reach out. There is an email address as well. I think Shakti has very
Yes.
prominently uh, given on the website. Reach out there with whatever questions you might have. Even if you're not able to understand the problem, no question is a bad question. So please, we encourage you to ask questions. We are happy to answer everything like this session. So yeah, looking forward to all the great answers.
Great. Thank you so much for adding that up. Sashi, do you want to add up something to there?
Yeah, just the same thing which I started with. I'm really excited about the whole thing, and I think even looking it before it already it started, the kind of questions we are getting, it is making us even more clear how to have a great hackfest, right? Because so far, if I remember the past experiences, we are also little used to figure out things when the hackfest comes closer. But here, the kind of questions which is coming out, it is also making us very prepared how to have a good hackfest for everybody around. So good start, and I'm really looking forward to meet all of you and have a nice evening together.
So maybe there's a quick question for Vinny to answer there.
Yes, please. Where
So
does the offline event take place? Shishant, we are based out of Gurgaon, and we are inviting all the finalists to come to our office for the final hackathon. How do we manage the logistics and semantics? There is a chunk of your travel and stay that we would be taking care of as well. So it will not be an all expense paid trip, but to a large extent will be an expense paid trip for you guys. And you come here, you experience everything in person. I think the in person experience tops everything. And that's what we're hoping to give you. And this is the great time that you'll actually get to meet people from all across the country. We've opened it up to the whole country. So, looking forward to meeting people from across this country and across industries who participate in it.
great. Thank you so much, Vinny and Shashi. Lovely to have you guys again with us here. And thank you everyone who joined us during the whole session. If you still have any questions, there's a ticker down on below here. So you can write us on that given email. So we should be able to help you out with all sort of questions of yours, maybe technical, maybe
Absolutely.
related to the hackathon, or even if you want to ask that, why don't I participate in your team? You can of course do that. As Vinny said, there's no wrong question. You can of course ask us out. We can definitely give you the right answer. But yeah, we're looking forward to your your participation, your ideas to come and float across to us. Let us go through. Let us scratch our head on those and get you the right place. But thank you so much, Ashi, and Vinny once again, and lovely to
Thanks,
have you
Rajiv.
guys with us.
All
Thanks,
right,
guys.
take care. Thank you so much.
Cheers. Have a great evening.
Yes, well.